I'm about to read a poem of mine that will appear in the next issue of 9 Mile, I'm pleased to say, the Art and Literary Magazine, Fall 2017 edition, the issue. The poem is called Fun with Death. Epigraph. I feel more like I do now than I did when I first got here. Professor Irwin Corey. The shadows of the trees about the lawn conveyed all morning the impression of standing still, as if they had at dawn on this bright fool's gold June midday acquired exemption from the cosmic grinder, and I along with them, so that I too, with a stupid grin, have hung suspended in changeless time, as astronauts are wont to do in weightless space, while from under the eaves of the house next door, a mourning dove cooed the same mesmerizing lament over and over. Such lulling, mild euphoria, of course, was by courtesy of the temporary dereliction of that bad angel, my brain, which knows full well that all shadows are always moving towards the pointlessness of their own interminable motion, while every instant arrives already gone. As Merwin has it, there is no time, yet it grows less. Q. What historical event ended in 2017? A. 2016. But then there's the miracle of Salvatore Dali, who died and was buried in 1989, and when exhumed last month, proved to be still sporting, as it were, his grandiose mustache, which had kept, for all those years in the grave, its famous 10 past 10 position, closer to the correct time than any displayed on his melted watches. So sometimes the world really is as whimsical and lovely as this morning here beside the lake it seemed for a time to be, though verifiably was not elsewhere in the gore-smeared rubble of Mosul, say, or the funky palates of a Bangkok whorehouse, or hell, most places. But if the doleful end game of time's practical joke is tiresome, it is also, when not tragic, funny. Q. How many corpses would it take to change a light bulb? A. You must be joking. And now that most mysterious time of all, which this time I'll just call evening. Now the shadows are stretched out long across the lawn, dour with the post-meridian foreboding of yet another day uncaught, unrealized, and the anticipation of yet another sunset, another dusk pulling in like a German train, right on schedule. Q. If Bob, a coward, has 1,000 deaths and dies 930 of them, what will he have then? A. Rigor mortis. Eurydice, it must be said, was not prevented from returning from the dead because Orpheus at the threshold looked back at her. Rather, the poet at the threshold looked back at her because he knew no one could return from the dead. So dusk has now begun to thicken imperceptibly, intractably, and will, until, as always, the blackness, startlingly, comes on, shussing from behind to overtake us, flashes past, and plunges immediately ahead, silently, into the vast blank Texas of eternity. Q. How did you arrive at your answer to the question about death? A. I cheated.